Have you gurus or gurus that say that they can help you make money in real estate with little money down when credit won't don't matter? You know, you watch these videos over and over and over again, and it's like, can they really help you? Well, I've been through a lot of gurus, a lot of gurus, and I'm gonna talk today about who really is good at what when it comes to which gurus can help you get to your desired goal. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of different gurus, and going to let you know, do we think these people are legit? Some people, do we think they're fake? And yeah, man, we're going to share our experience because I've taken some of these courses, some of these classes, and man, I'm gonna bring also in my guy Cordero, who's been studying a lot of these gurus,
Yes, sir.
or they call themselves gurus.
Yes, sir.
He's been studying a lot of them. And man, we're gonna break down, we're gonna break these people down, man. And y'all can ask us about anybody that y'all want to ask us about, and yeah, man, we'll fill y'all in on kind of what we think about that, man. So, how you feeling today, Cordero?
No, I'm feeling good, man. I am tired. I am tired. But that's one thing about, that's one thing about like getting off in the business and being off it. That's just one thing about life in general. We were just talking about that. Whether you are as an entrepreneur, whether you work a 9 to 5, whatever, it's just like, it ain't at the end of the day, at the end of your life, you ain't gonna be like, man, I'm glad I got 8 hours of sleep every night. You're gonna be like, what did I live? What did I do? So man, I'm pushing it, but I'm feeling good though, because just as an FYI, this is not the topic of this video, but we've been staying consistent on following up with some leads and some people and some folks, and some folks starting to fall into place.
Oh yeah.
For sure, for sure. So I'm definitely feeling good. Shout out to Zay, man. Yo, how y'all doing, man? We up in this thing. We up in this thing. Yeah, we up in this thing, man. Feeling good. We crispy. We got some cuts. Byron cut crispier, newer than mine, but
Man, whatever, dude.
You know what I mean? We up in this thing, ready to give it to y'all. Cause look, I took, I follow these people. I think anytime you heard the term, I think Max Maxwell coined it, but YouTube University. I'm not sure where that came from.
Yeah.
But most people, when you get started, that's why you're here now. Is
Yeah, for
you're
sure.
utilizing the resources that you have available to you. And if you get started, you might not have an extra $5,000 to jump off into a course, extra $10,000 to jump off into a mastermind.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? You're gonna be looking off.
Or maybe you considering it though. Like some people considering spending that 5K. They considering spending that 5K, and they see like, oh man, let me check out this video to see if this person is legit or that person is legit. You know what I'm saying? I had people contacting me. It's like, hey, I spent $7,000 on this person's course and spent this many $1,000s on that person's course. It's like I still ain't done no deals.
Dude,
so
I spent money on some courses and had some mentors. I've had mentors both paid and free. Don't sleep on the concept of having a free mentor where you just naturally build an organic relationship with a person and that don't go how you thought. And you realize, okay, even if it is somebody that you're free, it's just like, regardless of if you're paying for it or if it's out here for free on YouTube, it's just like we live in an age of information, and it's so much information out there. It's not how do I get the information? It's like, how do I pick the right information? Is really what the question is, and what you should be asking yourself now. At this point, when you're just starting off, if you don't have a resume of deals that you've done to kind of say, okay, I know what the real business is like, it'll make sense. Like right now, if either myself or Byron was to like, let's say we're going to pick a new person that we have not already been through their course or program or paid for, we're going to pick another person. We have enough knowledge to say, okay, that person can get me to that next level. Like right now, we both know, for example, I'm just going to throw a random person out there. We both know, dog, if Sean Terry drops something within reason, we should probably get on that, right?
Yeah.
But If Joe Schmo dropped it, we'd be like, he don't even know what he's talking about. I can tell by his videos because we have some sort of experience to stack it up against. And that's what we're going to do here, just kind of lend our experience to you, just to say, okay, from after doing deals, like I've almost done 100 deals, very close to it, probably like 80. I've probably done like 80 to 90 deals. Byron's done 100 plus deals. And so with that experience, it's like, how, who for real? Based on the information that they're putting out there, we're going to let you know who we think is for real and who's not. So that way you can kind of say, okay, that makes sense, because I'm new. I ain't ever done no deals. I wouldn't know that this guy's trash. You know what I mean? Because he's
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
You know what I mean? For sure.
For sure. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of people out there. So we're gonna talk about a few people. You know, if you know anybody or want to ask us about anybody, you can leave comments or whatever. Let us know who you want to ask us about or whatever, because there's a lot of questions out there and a lot of new people kind of need to know, like, you go over here for this, you can go over there for that. It's kind of
Right.
like, fast food. It's like, man, if I want a burger, then I probably need to go over here. But if I want some chicken tenders, then I don't need to go to like Sonic. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? If you want certain things, you got to go to certain places, man. You
Right,
know what
right.
I'm saying? So we're gonna break down who's real, who's fake, who's, where you go to get certain stuff. So, man, where you want to start, Cordero?
I think you just hit
Matter of
a
fact, let's start by doing this, man. Let's shout out to people that's in the building.
yeah.
Zay in the building. Yo, what's going on, man? What's going on, Zay? Uh, and we got Swint in the building. What's up, man? What's going on? Say just got off his 9 to 5 tapping in. What's going on, man?
That's how I gotta
That's
be,
what's
Slit.
up, man.
That's
Fresh
just
off
how
that
it
9
gotta
to
be
5.
now.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So
Man, you know what? I would say, I think let's start off with just kind of distinguishing the real versus fake. Like, I don't want to be too sharp. I don't want to dictate anything, but just perception wise, who's giving quality information and who's not. And then from those people who are giving quality information, where do you go for what? Right?
yeah,
I think that
shoot.
makes more sense. You know?
Yeah, that's fair, man. So, and these people that's giving, you may have people who giving quality information, but they're not really disclosing like how do you get to where you're trying to go. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of people who like post like random stuff, but like, we'll deal with the three people that's on the thumbnail, man. The first person that I'd like to talk about is I think we got what, Flip Man on here. Flip Man, man. Flip
Yeah,
Man. I made a video about Flip Man a while back talking about the pros and cons of Flip Man. If you want to go back and watch that video, you can go back and watch that right here. But man, Flip Man, I thought he was fake at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And my initial thought was, man, this dude fake. He don't know what he's doing. But I just started watching his videos and was like, man, this dude seemed like he a regular joker. You know what I'm saying? Out of all the people, Flip Man seemed to be a real regular dude. Right? It's like he
right.
ain't
Yeah.
flashy, he ain't got nothing going on. He's just a regular old dude. But I would say, man, the what you go to Flip Man for is different than what you would go to Sean Terry for, different than what you would go to Jerry Norton for. Like Flip Man is really good at getting people started. If you wanted to get started wholesaling, you thinking about, just trying to get your first deal, you trying to lock up your first deal, Flip Man. You trying to get, you need a free contract, Flip Man. You know what I'm saying? If you want somebody that's going to be consistently there for you to answer random questions, then you can go to Flip Man. He gonna always go live. He gonna always be there to answer your questions and stuff like that. So I would say Flip Man definitely for beginners.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I say that he doesn't do as good of a job at as other people is like, where do you go after your first deal? Now, he will get on there and explain, like, answer your question about that, but like his setup is not necessarily set up for people who is trying to like build out systems. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that's his $10,000 package, right? Maybe that's his $5,000 package. But when you talking about going through YouTube and watching his stuff, he ain't really talking about how you build a system. He just
Right.
but he gives a lot of details on, okay, this is exactly how you get started, step by step details, all the little stuff. And that's what really helped me. You know what I'm saying? All the little stuff. But once I got past my first deal, once I started doing way more deals, it was like, there's not a lot there about building a system. You know what I'm saying? To keep doing deals. Cause it's like in business, you can't get just one sale. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're selling the company for a ridiculous amount of money. But you gotta be able to do deals. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like that was that's a con, I would say, of flip man. You know what I'm saying? So, that's
Yeah.
my take. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure, man. And I didn't follow Flip Man as much coming up because I had REI next door. You know what I mean? At the time when I was just, but in the beginning, in the very genesis of my career, I still didn't. But one thing that I definitely appreciate about Flip Man is like what you said, the whole point of him being a regular dude is he's good at simplifying what would probably seem complex.
Yeah.
Or what I'll say without pointing any fingers to anybody, because I think generally people do this and I understand why. The more you do it, the more I can understand why they do this. But it would be nice for me to get on here and say, oh, for us to just kind of hit you with all the lingo. Oh, our KPIs are
Yeah.
have been back tested for a number of years, and our PPPs and our LOGs and this that and the other.
You
It's like,
saying he ain't flip man ain't give you the King James version?
yeah, dog, he ain't giving you the King James version, dude. The hitherto forth whence cometh thither thine thither. He ain't giving you all of that. He
Nah.
will take an idea in that, but he does it, I think, masterfully. When you
Yeah.
on his lives and when you watching his videos, dog, he'll make it a complex. He's there's been several times where he's made an idea that in the beginning I was kind of stressing about, and I was like, man, I just can't wrap my mind around it. He like, bro, just do this, boom, and
Yeah.
that's what you need. You need,
Yeah.
especially in the beginning, man, you need to cut through all of that because this business can get complicated. It's a people
Yeah.
business. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of different elements to it. It can be very complicated. But if you have a solid fundamental understanding of what needs to get done, you can do any of it. You can do anything. You can do it all if you have the solid foundation, the fundamentals. But if people are talking about flying a plane, like I watched the Wonder Woman movie, and there was a part where I guess her boyfriend or something, he was like a pilot, and he was talking about like flying a plane. He was like, it's all just wind and air. And just if you think about a paper plane, folding up a paper plane and throwing it through the air and watching it the way it rides the wind, and it was just like that's pretty logical. But if I sit you down in the pilot seat and I'm talking about, man, but look at all the buttons in the cockpit, dude. Look at all the buttons in the cockpit, all the different options, all the different things that are available to you to touch and move and change. That can be complex. But if we talk about, dude, just think logically about moving this through the wind, and that'll make it that much more simple. That's what Flipman does. And I think that you need to find somebody, again, we always talk about find somebody who speaks your language.
Yeah.
And especially in the beginning, the more you grow and evolve, you'll grow and evolve. So your language essentially should grow and evolve. Now I know what KPIs are. Now
Yeah.
I know what that is. Not only do I know what KPIs are, I know what my KPIs are. I know what they need to be. We know how to adjust them. We know how to work with them and build them up and work with them. And we're improving as we go. I understand and also understand the boundaries of KPIs and things like that, like the numbers, like who are the best of the best? What are their numbers? Do they have it perfect? No, they don't. But to a new person, they're like, dude, what are you talking about KPIs? You talking about, is that a chicken spot? Can you get some chicken? They got chicken. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like you don't in the beginning, it just needs to be real simple. Like I would question myself, just for example, I would question myself, man, how do you like, man, what happens if a buyer say this or a buyer say that? Flip man, he had this video. It was actually a short. I think it was a YouTube short or maybe on Facebook. And all it was just him looking out the window, like shaking his head sad, and it had this sad song in the background. He was just like, when a buyer says that they can't put the earnest money deposit, he said, no, it was like basically, nah, get lost. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
would think, to me, I was like, man, that's way more complicated. We got to negotiate. His method is, if they don't want to put the earnest money, buy. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like that makes it that much more simple. And then when you know with somebody who's having motion, like Flipman, you're like, oh, he got motion. Like he really doing deals. He's got a team around him. So if he thinks that way, I need to think that way. And that's pretty simple. Right.
Yeah, for sure,
So
man. I always, like I said, man, Flip Man is just, straight up guy, tell you exactly how it is, man. But let's see what the people talking about, man. Cass says, shout out to Flip Man. Shout out to Flip Man, man. He got me started same time as B, no doubt, man. No doubt. You already know, Cass. That's why I like watching y'all relatable, explain simply. No
yeah.
doubt, man. Plus the basketball analogies. Yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not a basketball dude. Like I said, I'm more boxing than MMA, but I understand it enough. But that is something I'm big on because I went through that. I went through years of YouTube University and trying to get over that learning curve to try to cipher through the right YouTube guy, listening to Max Maxwell because he was the only guy on there. And Max Maxwell was the first for a lot of people, but he don't speak my language though. And just ultimately, I'm big on when you know something, it's hard to teach people because you just neglect what you already know. And like you just already know it. So you don't know. So I try to make stuff as granular, as simple as possible. Like, and that's what one thing Byron did was just let's just be real about this. Like, come on. Like, let's make it understandable to somebody who's never done a deal. It's like if I was trying to teach you Mandarin, which is Chinese, the language that Chinese people speak, and I was trying to explain a Chinese word, a Mandarin word, by speaking Mandarin. It's like, how you gonna learn that word? It's like I'm trying to explain to you Spanish, but teaching you in Spanish. It's like, dog, I know zero Spanish. So if you teach me Spanish in Spanish, we lost, right? So I don't use complex terms to explain complex terms. Let's just make it simple because all of it's simple, dude.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I really don't have no cons for Flip Man.
My bad, man. Go ahead.
I'm about to say I really don't have no cons for Flip Man for real like that.
I would say the con is he doesn't go. Once you get past that first deal, it's like it's not a whole lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a whole lot past that first deal. Now the other pros is he don't just teach you how to flip houses, he teach you how to flip land, how to flip commercial units, and all the other good stuff. But I would say after you get past that first deal, it's really not a lot. He really like to, okay, I'm gonna show you here right here on YouTube, and like I don't know if he don't even really push to go beyond that. You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out to Flip Man. He helped me get started, no doubt, man. Speaking of Max Maxwell, let's go on to Max Maxwell, man. I think Max Maxwell, I don't know if he was speaking my language, but he was speaking my entertainment language, right?
Yeah.
That's how I like to be entertained. Like Max Maxwell, great entertainer, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, dude, Flip Man want to be entertaining too. He just don't entertain the same way that Max Maxwell do. He's not, you know what I'm saying? But I would say, man, that like Max Maxwell's great entertainment, but one thing he did put me on is the mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think he was really big on that. Like Flip Man don't talk anything about mindset, personal development, nothing. Right? It's just like this is wholesaling. But like Max goes into mindset. Well, at least he was like when I was looking at him going into like he teach about wholesaling, show you the different stuff, but the mindset of it all is what Max Maxwell really got me on.
Yeah, man, for sure. I think Max Maxwell is just like a pure content creator because he talks about it a lot. He's like a serial entrepreneur, so he did a lot of things, and so it's like I think once he caught wind of wholesaling and he was able to make something out of that, I think he already had an idea where he wanted to go as far as like having an online presence, being on YouTube and all those things. Like I said, for a lot of people, Max Maxwell was the first for my it's like my generation, I would have to say, but it's just like, it's not an age thing. It's just a time when you got in the game, like around 2018, 2019, 2017, 18. It's like, if you was getting in the game, Max Maxwell was the guy, right? And so for me, over time, I was just like, he's not really speaking my language as far as helping me get more of a visceral understanding of the business, the day-to-day, what I need to be doing. But what he did for me I caught wind of one of his videos. I just repeated over when he was explaining his first deal and the mindset of him going to his first deal, and that was very powerful for me. But what he did do was give me, um, he was he gave me a vision. Like I think I heard once like you got to have a model and just like when you design in a house, you got to have the blueprints by which you're going to put it together. And he gave me the blueprint. And like you could like if you consume enough of his content, the general aspect of how I think he's the guy after you do your first deal, because he was showing you day to day in his business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how what it was like for him to have his like he had his real estate guy. I think that was like his dispo guy or something like that. He was showing you how he got an office, put the team together, brought his family in. So he was giving me what I gleaned from Max Maxwell's channel, was the the blueprint of okay, after you get your first deal, that might be the thing. Like after you done with Flipman, go to Max Maxwell because now this is what we're doing. Because he talked a lot about KPIs and all of these things. I'm just like, dude,
Yep.
what are you talking about? Right?
Yeah, Max Maxwell go over your head a little bit, but like I said, like to get your first deal, it was kind of hard to follow. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But like he's very entertaining, so he'll keep your eyes popping. But at some point, it was like to me, it was like, hold on, I gotta snap out of entertainment and get
Yeah.
down to doing. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
the
Yeah.
other thing that Max Maxwell did that like I think help propel me to another level is, you know, he had a video, a couple of videos where it was like, this is how you put together a business. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is how you put the business together. It's this department, this department, this department. You know what I'm saying? And he has this video where he shows you, okay, this is what 100 grand, you know, I think it was like 100 grand a month or something like that. This is how you run the operation.
Yeah.
And like I still use that, like I used that from the beginning and was able to put together my same thing and do 100 grand a month. It's like just doing that, you know, like I said, Flipman helped me with my first deal.
Yeah.
Max Maxwell, like I was watching Max Maxwell the whole time and not Flipman. You know what I'm saying? But Max
Yeah.
Maxwell helped me later on, and Flipman helped me early on. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
like Max Maxwell's real good at putting the business together, and then just the mindset of you have to be obsessed. You know what I'm saying? Even like the follow up, I got a lot of that from Max Maxwell. Like putting people like what do you call a conveyor belt? It's like okay,
That was
call them,
yeah.
text them, you know what I'm saying? Just
That was,
like keep in the follow up.
he created
He
an
will
entire
always say the
business.
deals in the follow up. Do what?
He created an entire program, like entire company, like what we call those things, like a platform.
Software. Yeah.
Yeah, he created an entire software. I think that was his like early on was in software design or something like that. But he created an entire software around that conveyor belt model, and I think that was baller. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt, man. But shout out to Max Maxwell, man. He a real one. Max
Yeah.
Maxwell, a real one, man. He did his thing. He like, man, I ain't even really worried about this whole thing no more, man.
Yeah, that's why I was saying was that he was like he talks about how he was a serial entrepreneur. So I think he again
Yeah.
blueprint, and I'm talking like bigger picture, not even just yes, he definitely was good. His major pros is he's the blueprint of after you get your first deal. Now, how do we generate this and create a system out of it? And he talks a lot about like that. Well, really, what you need to do after your first deal is just wash, rinse, repeat. Put that money up. Whatever you did to get your first one, keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then start investing in this and this here and doing it like this and setting these things up is what you need. But just to a life. There's a book called what? Life in Air, Life in
Yeah,
Air.
life in there.
And I think he really just like now he's got multiple businesses. I know he's big on being a pilot, and so that was something that he implemented. I'm not really off into that, but like once you catch wind and start to build and build and build, then you could like he set the blue to me from somebody coming from like you making it out of nothing, like how you get there, and then how you can keep taking it to the next level and next level. That's one of the major pros I think about Max Maxwell is the fact that he is okay. Now we're talking about next level. How do you keep it going? How do you grow it and just create a life? And he's going to show it all to you. Like he lives in Dubai now. Like he's showing it all to you.
He's still showing, man. He's still dropping stuff. But
Yeah.
that being obsessed, it's like what
Major
I
key.
got from Max Maxwell. And I think that really helps. Like, you have to be obsessed. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And once you get obsessed, okay, that's when you go watch all the Flipman videos. You know what I'm saying? You go watch whatever you need to watch, whatever you need to do, you become
Yeah.
obsessed. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think becoming obsessed is like, if I can only do one thing, it would be to become obsessed. You know what I'm saying? Because when you become obsessed, everything else is easier. When you become obsessed, it's easier to stay on that dollar for 4 hours every single day. You
Eight
know what I'm
hours.
saying?
It could no.
Because you're obsessed.
You
I'm
stay in
just
there
saying.
until you get the deal. Like I
Yeah.
know exactly what you're talking about. You stay in there until you get the deal, and you're not while you waiting on the next call to pop up. You got the earbuds in, and you listening to a Max Maxwell video while you're
Yeah.
doing it. It's like
Yeah.
that obsessive level is key, and it's just like you're not listening to no music in the car, this way or that way to work. It's only podcasts, and you obsessed. So it's like you just do because you and again, we talked about this a couple lives ago, but this is what I was talking about: a level of certainty, not certainty that it's going to happen, but certainty that I'm going to figure it out because I'm obsessed with it. I'm certain that I'm going to go until I figure it out. That's all. You get that level of certainty, and then you're just locked in, dude. That's what I was talking about when I was saying I was listening to your lives like all day long. Like I'm texting, listening to your lives. And sometimes I watch a video if I needed to learn something. I'm going over it over and over and over and over. Same video all day. From the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep, I watched one video on repeat and did because you obsessed. And that's like how you get stuff done.
Shout out to Pegasus Real Estate Solutions, man. He said, "Be obsessed or be average." You know who that is, right?
Ryan
Your
Holiday.
boy, Greg
Oh,
Cardone. Be obsessed or be average.
oh, he
He
got
wrote
a
a
whole
book.
book, don't he?
Yeah. Be obsessed to be average, man. You got to be obsessed, man. So but for sure.
Yeah,
So let's deal with King Kong, man. Let's go King Kong.
this is my
Man.
guy. This
Say
is my
King go ahead there, man. Hey, let's shout out Anita first, man. Shout out to Anita, man, coming through. Shout out to all my people on IG coming through, man. We got some people on IG that's
hey
coming through,
Nina.
man.
Eva,
IG is up in this thing, man. We finally got
IG
linked
folks
up with
pop up
IG.
as well. Can you put them across the screen, or they ain't getting as much love like that?
I don't think I can pull them across the screen. I don't
But
think
shout
so.
out to y'all regardless, man. Shout out to the folks on IG for tuning in. We have a lot more of these, but King Kong, dude. Just because I think King Kong of all these people, I mean, all of these people, and that's what you need to get used to noticing similarities or um, patterns or consistencies. Notice most of these people that we're talking about started from nothing. None of these
Yeah.
people were like trust fund babies or something like that, by the way. And they were just like born rich and they had a rich uncle. No, all of these people started from nothing. But King Kong to me is the epitome of against all odds.
Yeah.
Against all odds, dude came over here as an immigrant, barely. Let's get this money. That
Let's get this
money.
morning.
Let's get this money. Hey, dude.
Hey
Barely
man, you
speaking the
know
language.
who's on the King Kong video or podcast or something like that?
Oh.
Yo boy, Keithon, man. I was looking up King
Oh,
Kong and
dude.
I was like, hold on, that's Keithon,
Hey, and
man.
that's how Keithon to tell you right now, man. That's how you got to start was rocking with um
King
King
Kong.
Kong, but it's like, he said he paid to get in. He set up like a real standard and everything for Keithon. So, but we just talking about the YouTube aspect of it.
Yeah, for
Dude,
sure.
my favorite, obviously, y'all know, like, I think talking to people is a very important. We can boil down any business. That's the one thing. I think that's the one thing definitely for our business, besides being obsessed. But he who better to learn from than the guy that's become a multimillionaire that can barely speak the language. He can barely, this is his second language, maybe even the third, I don't know. And he can barely speak it. And I've just gone through so many VAs that we put on the phone and they get cussed out or sign right off the phone immediately. And we're like, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to let you go just because people are complaining that they don't understand what you're saying. And he came over here and said, man, I don't care. I'm getting this money. I'm about to get this money. I don't care, dude. That's not gonna stop me. Not only that, if he spoke perfect English, he has a speech impediment. He has a stutter. And
Yeah.
he's still going in, dude. No, I don't care, dude. I don't want to hear no type of excuses. That's my guy. He shows you tactics. And one of my favorite things is, and he knows this. I've learned this more of a naturally, but he knows this as well. Is you realize again, Byron, it's not about being perfect. It's just about being a human being on these
Yeah.
phones and and you'll learn. This is one thing that you'll learn from his channel and learning how he talks to people is just being real, like stuttering. And I don't know. That's, you notice how all of my intros on my calls is like, hey, I don't know if hi, how are you? This I'm Cordero, and I'm going to speak perfectly to you. It's not that. I'm being a human being. And what he's done is he's embodied. So if you guys telling me you from the islands, if you telling me you got a thick country accent, you from up north, and you say, and you put an R where it don't need to be at all the time from wherever you from, you know what I mean? That does not matter. My favorite thing about King Kong is his entire story, his story, and
So
just
he
how
lived in the trailer. Even when he got over here, he lived in like a trailer or something like that for a long
dude.
time.
And he just built his business. He talks a lot about. There's one thing that Grant Cardone talks about in the 10x Mentor is how do you kind of get on, because he always is going back to that undercover millionaire process. Is one of the major things is finding a major player in the market and
Yeah.
you know
Attaching
utilize
yourself to him. Yeah.
attaching yourself to them and utilizing their wisdom, their experience, their name, their brand, all of that thing, and then adding to that. And that's what King Kong did. Actually, he was working with another dude that's actually pretty big name, but I think King Kong, as far as in the media realm, has surpassed that dude. I forget who it is, but it's another dude that I've seen a lot of his content before as well. But
Yeah. I think I
Kong
know you're
has,
talking about.
so just his overall story, I think if we talking about starting from nothing, this is really coming from the mud, from the dirt. Lil Baby can say that he started from lower than King Kong as far as the spectrum. You know what I mean? Nobody from Atlanta. Well, I mean, there's some parts in Atlanta.
Yeah, you better watch out.
You know, said parts in Memphis. That's the but either way, it's just like it should tell that King Kong story should tell you that it's possible. That's
Yeah,
one thing. But the second thing, as far as pros go, is obviously he kind of centers a lot of his content around not just the business and putting it together, but the talking to people aspect.
yeah,
And he'll work with you. He gives people the opportunity to call in and he'll practice with you. He'll give you tips. He'll go live cold calls and you're watching him do it. And it's just like, oh, dang, this dude barely speaks the language. He has a speech impediment and he's going in. I don't have any. I'm sitting here. I can speak perfect English, but all I do is use it to cuss people out on 2K Live all day.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On Madden, cuss 14-year-olds out. That's all I do. It's like, how about you switch it and use it to learn how to communicate better with the resources that you have available to you and talk to people. So he's the only person that I know of, at least at his volume, that you can call in and actually let's talk. And the whole channel is basically centered around
Cold
talking.
calling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cold calling, but just like getting better at that process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He would do the 5 a.m. cold call role play. Like I
That's
would wake up and be listening to that. You know what I'm saying? People calling in, he doing role play, man. He just rip people to pieces. Like he ain't got no mercy. Because like you said, it's like, dude, where he come from, it's like, dude, there's no mercy, man. I ain't
no
gonna give
mercy,
you
dude.
no mercy. But yeah, man, like that's kind of where I like before I even was doing deals, like I said, man, I was listening to King Kong, listening. And that's kind of where I get the concept of being a service provider. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
where I kind of got that concept from was King Kong. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just here to collect the information, get it back to my investors, see what they're able to offer. Like I kind of got that from King Kong. I don't know if that's where he directly teaches people, but from what he was doing, I was like, okay, this is the path I'm gonna go into based on what he doing. Like I
Yeah.
was just sitting there listening to him talk to people so much that it was like, okay, I felt comfortable talking to people. You know what I'm saying? You listen to somebody do so many reps. You know what I'm saying? You listen to somebody do so many reps till it's like, okay, I feel good doing reps. So Like that was my big thing with King Kong, man. But let's get to these comments, man. Nita says, you get the most gems watching Max Maxwell meetups and his earlier videos before all the hype.
Hey, that's what I was gonna say
Let's go.
too. Is another thing that Max Maxwell really put me on to is like mindset, but like how going to meetups and masterminds is like he was the first person really like opening, like really cracking that concept in my head. Like if you can get in the room with the right people, how important it is. Like it's worth spending $30,000 on. If you got $30,000 to spend on it, it's worth
Yeah.
it. And he was the first person to plant that seed, and that really grew.
Yeah. Ty Franklin, man. Ty Franklin, one of her favorites for knowledge local to her area and motivation. Yeah, Ty, man. We had Ty on the show, man. Ty is my guy, man. He out there just crushing it. He posted a video about leaving his job. I was like, ain't this dude leaving his job? I was like, hold on, has he done a deal? It was like, dude, he was out of there. As soon as he done any deal, he left his job. He was like, man, I'm gonna make this work. And I
Yeah.
was sitting there, I ain't left my job. I was sitting there, was still working my job. I had that made, you know what I'm saying? I made $100,000 over the summer and went back to school, went back to teaching. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Like, dude.
Ty was like, man, I'm out of here, man. He went out there, he made it work. He been crushing it ever since, man. So shout
Yeah.
out to Ty, man. He out there crushing it, man. So
Shout out to Ty, man. Ty do a lot of gems too, man.
yeah, Ty be putting out a lot of gems. He be showing you how he getting it done, man. Shout out to Ty. So Jared Norton, great for beginners. Wanted to learn. So let's jump into Jared Norton, man. And he got free templates. So let's jump into Jared Norton. He one of the guys that we want to talk about. I know for me personally, I don't know. Like I said, I'm more of a simple. I don't know what version I need, but I don't need the King James version of wholesaling. I don't know. To me, Jared Norton talks almost perfect, and it's like
Because
for
he's
me,
he talked with that realtor voice. I know what you're talking about.
he talked with that realtor tone. It's like
Yeah.
I can listen to him. I might be able to learn from him, but he is too good at like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like dude, he ain't just shooting me straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He taking me over here to take me over there to take me over here to take, and it's all good. You know what I'm saying? But he
Yeah.
gonna take me this way to take me that way to bring me back around this way to bring. He's perfect at storytelling.
Yeah.
Like his storytelling skills are off the charts. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's like I just need to let me get down to this business. You know what I'm saying? How do you get here? How do you get this done? How do you get that done? And like I said, Jared Norton got great information, great templates. But just for me, like Cordero said, you need somebody to speak your language.
Right.
Like I needed to watch the Flipman video. You put up Flipman next to Jared Norton. Flipman is talking imperfect. You know what I'm saying? It's just like me. It's like I'm not sitting here talking perfect. Like I'm sitting there just using whatever words come to my brain. Jared Norton, like he done took a speech class. He done went and got, you know, like he is a professional speaker. He ain't misplacing no words. I don't hear no ums. I don't hear no. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. I did nothing. It's all perfect. Right. It's like, so that's why I'm like, you know, that's why I gravitate toward. Like I can watch him, but it's just like he ain't gonna tell me straight. Like he's gonna take me all the way around the world to get me back to where we really need to be on this video. So, but he, like I said, man, like he got templates. He giving away stuff for free. He's showing you how it's done. Like he a beast, man. You know, ain't no doubt he a beast. But it's like I just need stuff real simple. But that's just me. You know, that's why it's like you got to find people to speak your language. But anyways, I just wanted to throw my thing out there about Jared Norton. Much respect for him, but it's like I don't know, man. You know, maybe I get that one day to a perfect language. You know, I'm drawn to perfect language, but you know, just saying.
I think it is because, like I said, if y'all don't know, for y'all, those of y'all who don't know, Jerry has a realtor. He's a real estate agent. He's a licensed real estate agent, but he's an investor. That's what he does. He's a wholesaler and a flipper primarily. That's what he does. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, man. Jerry Norton, my dude. Yeah. Jerry Norton, my dog. And I don't even know if it is about the way he communicates or the way he is. I think I do have an appeal to that. And I kind of like that. And I be trying to like, again, glean a little bit from that, try to learn, because there's a certain this is a people business, and there are certain types of people, right? And ultimately, you can do business with the people you can touch and that you can like really reach. The same way Flipman is going to be more likely to actually sell Byron a program than Jerry is. If Jerry was somehow able to kind of open his horizon, or vice versa for Flipman, they could touch each other. And I think they do have like a video that they did together, like a couple of them, maybe.
Yeah, Flipman do videos with a lot of people, but you know, he
But
still
yeah,
remain Flipman.
exactly. I'm not saying like you should by any means, because I think, real personally, I think the things that make you uniquely you are what you should always stick to. And anything outside of that, you're gonna get spanked for real. But I was just like, man, I kind of like Jerry Norton's the way he talks, just trying to appeal to those people. Because here in Tennessee, and again in Tennessee, it's not Atlanta, it's not Georgia, and it's not Alabama. You know what I mean? It's like it's a certain type of people here, and you looked at the actual real estate here, and the prices compared to there, it's just like it's a certain type of person that will buy that real estate for that amount of money. It's a certain type of person. So Jerry Norton really was speaking the lingo that a lot of real estate people here in Tennessee speak. So I gravitated to him. But my favorite thing is his whole business model. He's like
Yeah,
a baby Sean Terry. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And I don't even want to say baby like on some disrespectful stuff, because Jerry Norton is my dude. Like,
beast. He a beast, man.
but you know, in his whole like, dude, he's got like 12 kids or something crazy like that. One, you know, he don't
Now
got
Jared
12.
Norton does seem like a regular guy though.
Nah,
Like
dude.
even though his speech is like perfect, he still seemed like he even a lot of times act like he's below average. Like he act
Yeah,
like
he
his
thinks like
lifestyle is below. Like he just so much of a common dude. Like in his dress, how he appears a lot of times is like, you know, he really don't even be worried too much about like his appearance. A lot of times it's like he's that type of guy. But his speech is impeccable. His storytelling
yeah.
is impeccable, which is
Dude,
great. Like, dude, that is awesome. Like,
dude, I'm
but
telling you, that's
yeah,
Jerry
but he
Norton's
put out so one thing I like about Jerry Norton was a lot of things I like about him. He put out so much content, first of all. Like
yeah,
he's covered every single topic. Like
yeah,
you ain't almost touching no topic that Jerry Norton ain't touched. Like he's a beast. He putting out something on everything. Like you can go learn whatever you want to learn about wholesaling, you can go learn from him. Like I
yeah,
don't think he missing anything. No holes. Like he gonna show you how to get your first deal. He can show you how to build a business. He can show
yeah.
you like he gonna show you everything. So that's something I like. If I couldn't find it anywhere else, go Jared Norton page.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's a pro. But for me, that was I would say that's probably one of the only cons I got is like, I like the way he was explaining certain videos, like talking with sellers, like direct to sellers, but he'll do direct to seller and he'll go like do properties on market and stuff. And I was like, dude, I don't want to see no more on market property deals. Just do
Yeah.
the direct to seller. It's like, you know, when the person does everything, it's just like if he's gonna put out 10 videos this week, one of them is going to be my video. If he put out 10 videos on the topic that I like, then I would get all 10 of them to glean from, right? But again, that's probably one of the only cons I got about Jerry Norton, dude. Dog, like the fact, just the way he's got his whole life set up, but the way he does everything business wise, I like the way he kind of, and also too, Jerry Norton is the type of dude that he'll put out a video and he'll communicate. He'll be at you with the comment section. If he goes live, he'll communicate back with you. He'll answer your questions. He's touching on a lot of the topics like Byron said, but it's more likely you're gonna get what you want answered regardless. So that obviously that's a pro, but I just like the way, not necessarily the way he talks, but the way he goes about explaining things. I think if you can get past that lingo, and that's cool, then you realize like there is a certain part about the way he's communicating that appeals to that I'm just a regular guy sort of thing. Because again, Jerry Norton's another dude, come from nothing, come from I think like Detroit or something like that. It's like where he started off.
He looked like it.
from Detroit or something like that. You know what I mean? And so I just kind of appeal to how he like set his business up. And
Yeah,
again,
for
that's my favorite thing because he was one of the first. He is the first person that I saw that was talking about going nationwide. So he's
yeah,
nationwide, and he's also talking about what he talks about is bigger concepts, and he doesn't make them seem like, oh, it's just too much. He'll break down $1 million, like a mega mansion flip. He'll break down how he does deals. He living in he lives in Puerto Rico now, but he'll break down like, oh, how I do deals in Nebraska from Puerto Rico. Nebraska, I'm doing it. And so my favorite thing was the fact that if he's going to do you a deal demonstration, he can jump on right now and show you how to just use Zillow and your cell phone to get a deal. I'll use Zillow, pull up the FISBOs or maybe some on-market properties. So you can call these on-market properties, or you can call these FSBOs, these for sale by owners. You can get a deal locked up, and then you can also use Zillow to go ahead and find the right buyer and call the buyer and all that. And he'll do all of that in one video. So the number one thing that I like is the fact that we talk about this a lot of times. Jerry Norton is one of them dudes. If he lost it all tomorrow, give him a cell phone, he's gonna get it right back.
Oh yeah, dude, he can do it. And another thing I like about him is that he show you live examples. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Flipping it and getting on the phone with sellers. Max Maxwell really ain't showing you like how you get on the phone with sellers and do all that stuff. He may got a few videos.
But it'd be
Jerry
like,
Norton got a lot. Like Jerry Norton walking up in people's house on video. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And to that point, they like Max Maxwell will pull up, like if it was a perfect call, he'll put it up there. But Jerry Norton will show you a bad call. He got one video, dude. It got one video. He was just like calling a few people. He might have been he was calling for sale by owners, or maybe no, for sale by owners. And there's one lady. Again, y'all remember like a couple like a week or so ago, I was talking to that one irrational seller who was like one way too much, or she was arguing, and he was just like, dude, get off the phone. But I was like, no, I was thinking about one video Jerry Norton was going through, and he called one. And bro, I kid you not, like he was calling her, he was going back and forth. He was just like, why are you wanting to sell? She got an attitude with him. He was like, and he stood up, he pulled a gun out, cocked it, he racked it, sat it on the table. Dude is crazy, bro. Like he racked it. He was just like, because he was giving he was commentating on that call. So he called and it wasn't a perfect call. And he was essentially getting destroyed, not, just getting beat up, but she was being unreasonable and it wasn't going his way. But he posted it anyway and explained it. And while he was giving the back and forth commentation, he was just like, now, he pulled a gun out. Was like, have you ever had a seller talk to you like this or something like that? And the next clip, he had like a bat or something like that. And so those sort of things, I'm just like, dude, when I get frustrated on calls, or he'll just show you what it's like regardless. He's going to say, okay, here's what it's like. We're going to call some FISBOs. Here's what it's like. We're going to call some on-market properties. And I think the biggest thing for me about Jerry is his model, his approach to this entire business. You don't need it's not any platform specific. So it's not like I need text, or I need Facebook marketing, or I need cold calling, or I need to be good at cold calling or anything like that. It's like, I don't. It's just the simple fact that this is he talks about, here's the foundation of the business. Byron talks a lot about, it's just simply about getting a property, getting it sold, getting a property. Yeah. And he takes that to the extreme to show you, dog, it doesn't matter what state we're in. It doesn't matter what market we're in. It doesn't matter if I have PropStream or I don't have PropStream. I'm just using Zillow. I will get a property, and he shows you that, and he takes it to the extreme. So I think, and having somebody that really understands that and can prove that to you live, that's invaluable. Because then that breaks down all the mental barriers you might have about, well, I need this or I need that, or Byron said I need to text, and Cordero said I need to call, and it's like, no, you really don't. You really don't. You need to know the fundamentals and go at it, and I think Jerry does that very well.
Yeah, Jerry is very organized. That's another key. He is very organized. I saw the video when he pulled. Watch out, man. Watch out. Dig said, what do you think about Eric Klein in his negotiation skills and course? Man, what do you think about this guy, Eric Klein? You seen him?
I've heard of. Hold on, I gotta see it.
I've seen him. I watched a lot of his videos, man. I think,
Oh, he just popping up everywhere. I think I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I've only watched a little bit of his stuff, but I was talking to Byron about this. It's like you can look at a person and just know. I don't know everything that Eric Klein is about. I don't know his whole overarching content strategy or strategy towards his business, but his negotiation skills, his sales, he's what I would call a true salesman. Like
yeah,
he could show you how to do stuff that applies if you're in the car dealership, if you're at a cell phone company, if you're at if you're selling furniture, mattresses, whatever it is.
yeah,
Eric Klein, and like he's just been popping up all over my Instagram and stuff. It's like his is like true to sales, and it's going. So I don't know what his approach to business. Does he also flip, or is he just wholesaling? What's his model? I don't know. But sales, his negotiation skills, definitely stay tuned, because I think he's like probably somebody who's more on the come up. And I'm just gonna say I'm gonna stay tuned and listen to more of it. I have a sales background before this, and that what allows me to talk better with people. And I just like that's at the end of the day, that's really my favorite stuff. It's like the sales part about it, the negotiation, the understanding what you need to get to an end result. And I think if I'm not, I'm not a pro Eric Klein dude. I haven't watched nearly as many videos of him as I have of anybody, really. But I know he's definitely sales. If you want to get better at your acquisitions and stuff like that, check out him and people like him. What's that other dude that did 50 deals in 50 days or something like that?
Bates.
Yeah.
RJ Bates.
That's another dude. Again,
RJ Bates is true though. I tell you that right now. But
solid.
I would say though, like some of these people, unlike a unlike a Steve Train, like those guys are like I don't think everybody can do what they do, because they have their own swag, they have their own attitude that they pour into it. That is like you need to have that same swag and same attitude to pull off what they're pulling off. You know what I'm saying? RJ Bates more than Eric Klein. I think Eric Klein, has some good methods that would work for anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like Steve Train, now his stuff will work for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even mention them in the same.
No.
Steve Train,
even though RJ Bates is a beast, like RJ Bates is a beast, but he's like, you know what I'm saying?
He's like focused on. He's an acquisitions powerhouse. Acquisitions, sales powerhouse. Steve Train, he's
like it's one of those players where it's like you can't copy what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Pat Mahomes. It's like you can't be Patrick Mahomes. Everybody can't throw with their left hand. Everybody can't throw it side on. They trying to throw it side on and get intercepted. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes throw it side on, it's a touchdown. It's like, dude, stop trying to be like that guy. Like you can't be like that guy. But the train is Tom Brady over here. Everybody can do what Tom Brady do. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady is fundamentally sound. Like Steve Train got some fundamentals that everybody can pick up on and can run with it. Patrick Mahomes, he just out here being a gunslinger, slinging it all around the yard and just being good.
That's just him being him too.
Yeah.
To Byron's point, it's like he's not trying to be different. He's just being himself, and that's just what it created. But if you want to know, like, and that's always been my big thing, is just like, well, what if I don't have this particular skill set? What if just to life in general, it's just like, well, how could I make it in life if I didn't have a particular talent? Like if I wasn't like naturally funny or comical, or I could like rap, or I was athletic. Like, what if I didn't have any of those? How could you make it? I think going in business, there's just some fundamentals about business that anybody could do. And I think granular, like Steve Train, if you're talking about as far as like sales tips and acquisitions, Steve Train,
negotiation skills, Steve Train for sure. Now, I do think Eric Klein is legit. I don't think he's no fraud or nothing like that. And I think it's definitely worth taking a flyer on. Now, will I pay thousands of dollars to figure out what he's doing? Probably not. But I probably would pay, maybe, $100, couple $100 to figure out how he getting these people on the contract though, because he doing something. You know
Nah,
what I'm
I
saying?
just I think he's on the up and coming because I've seen some stuff on my Instagram that's paid ads. So I know he's trying to
Yeah,
get his name
yeah,
out there. So I just need to see a little bit more of his content and subscribe to his brand before I feel confident or giving some real feedback. But I know a true salesperson when I see it, and this is
yeah.
sales in all instances. Like Grant Cardone, he's a salesperson, and I don't mean cheesy car salesman either. Like Matilda's dad sell you a bucket for a lot of money. What's better for me is worse for you, and that's good. No, it's like people who really get to the heart of the matter as far as this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to start off by understanding what you need. This is what we need. And then when we get down to it, let's use the real psychology to help us both solve a problem.
Yeah,
And I think those are what the new age sales guys are. And I think Eric Klein, if I'm not mistaken, that's what he's building his brand around. He's
yeah,
not
dude.
trying to act like he's a Max Maxwell at this point.
Nah,
I'm an acquisitions dude.
he's an acquisition dude. He a
Yeah.
business dude. He's a grinder too, man. The dude
Yeah.
waking up 5 o'clock in the morning and working out. It's like, and he gives a lot of that mindset stuff too, which is really good, man. I'm excited to see what he become though, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
And to that point, Dig, and just in general, everybody watching, I would say, I think, everybody got what they're good at. Maybe you get off in this business, you get your first deal, you get a win, and you start to realize I'm better at dispo, I'm better at or whatever. But ultimately, even dispo is negotiation. Even
yeah,
dispo is sales. So I would
yeah.
say if you're getting off into business in general, there's a certain element that you need to consume more guys like Eric, like negotiation skills, whether it's RJ Bates, whether it's Steve Train, Eric Klein, it's like Grant Cardone. It's like the sales aspect in the negotiation. We all need to get better at that. And even if you wasn't getting into business, we all need to be better at that. So that way, when you go to the mechanic and he say, "Hey, that's gonna run you about 1,500," and you could be like, "No, 700. No, let's get you down lower than that." Like I think the power of being able to negotiate is just really effective communication. And I think as much as you think about strategy on putting a business together, how to do your first deal, how to fill out a contract or anything like that, I think you need to consume more how to negotiate. Also add that to your repertoire, whatever you want to do in this business. But I think everybody could learn more from just like, oh, how do I negotiate better? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Split the
sure.
difference.
Yeah, I think everybody definitely can learn from how to negotiate better. But shoot, man, I mean, I think we covered a lot of the big dogs, man. Obviously, a couple of people that I rock with, Keith Everett, I definitely rock with him. He changed everything for me. If you want to learn acquisitions and how to, build a business, go rock with him. Chris Jefferson is going to help you figure out how to get your first deal for sure. No doubt, he's going to put a community around you, surround you with people who are out here really doing business.
Yeah.
So Chris Jefferson, Keith Everett, two people I definitely rock with for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we might need to make this like a two-parter or multi-parter to where
yeah.
we just break down a couple people at a time because there's so many, not just a whole lot, but there's different people and then there's different levels. Like a Sean Terry and
Oh man, Sean Terry is a beast, man. Sean Terry is one of my favorites. You talk about favorites, man.
what I mean?
Sean Terry talks simple and goes stupid on
Simple and go
wholesale real
stupid. I
estate,
think that's
man.
a very accurate representation of how like again, Sean
And
Terry
he's
is
cutting
another
edge.
regular dude. On the low, he's just not doing regular dude stuff. He's
Nah,
a regular dude doing major level because he embraces that against all odds. I believe in myself. I will go. I'm willing to take the risk. And that's why they say it costs to be the boss. He done paid the cost more times over. And so I appreciate Sean Terry, but he's at a bigger level. He's been doing it for a longer time. And there are
long
guys that have
time.
been doing it for 10 years, 20 years. And then there's guys that just kind of got off into it in the past several years and they're rocking the game. So I think it's levels to this. And, we probably should take some time to let's go in. Because I think talking about Keith Everett and Sean Terry and, even bringing in somebody like Grant Cardone, that
Man.
deserves its own space. You know what I mean? Like those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think the people that we talked about tonight, real people. If you're looking to get started or build your business wholesaling real estate, you can't miss with those guys. There's really no need to go into other places. I mean, those guys, man, they're really crushing. Not saying there's not other people out here that can do it, but if you want to go straight YouTube, man, go check those guys out, man. They gonna have what you need. Like Flip Man gonna have what you need. Jerry Norton gonna have what you need. King Kong gonna have what you need. If you really looking for more people, Keith Everett, you can't go wrong with him. I mean, he'll turn you to a beast. Acquisitions, and he'll turn you to a beast figuring out how to put your business together, man.
Yeah.
And then if you want to get your first deal, man, go check out Chris Jefferson. His Charged Up University, man, gonna surround you with people that's gonna help you get your first deal. Like, I think it's no doubt. So many people getting their first deal in that group. It's crazy. So that's what I think about, where you should go if you're looking on YouTube to try to figure out how to get this done.
Yeah, man. I think I'll say this just in general. Most of these guys have some sort of subtext for no matter what they're doing in general, but they have like some sort of subtext for like, here's a section of my videos or a video dedicated to how to get your first deal. So a lot of them will talk about it. A lot of them be like how to get, but their entire channel and their entire brand doesn't attack it as much as others, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Flip Man, definitely. I think real talk in the beginning, I think watching King Kong will definitely be good because he's working with you to go from not knowing how to talk to people
to knowing how to talk to people, man. That's big. That's huge. Hey, I gotta stop it, man. I got Keith on came through on the IG. So shout out to Keith, man. You know he a godfather in this wholesaling business, man.
Keith know a thing or two about King Kong, dude.
You can go to any one of them people. They probably know about they somebody in their group know Keith on.
Yeah, really, man. Really, man. And the way I say it's not about what you know, it's who you know. Well, first of all, I learned since then it's what you know and who you know. But more importantly, it's about who knows you, right?
Yeah,
these folks probably know, they know Keith on just as well. You know what I mean? Keith on putting in that work. But again, Keith on know about King Kong, just specific to the video we're talking about today. He know about Kong, and I know Kong is like a lot of his YouTube content will help you learn how to talk to people and get better at that. But from what I hear, you subscribe to Kong, like really buy into his his course or his program. It's just like you're going to get the full out. Here's your setup. This is how we do it. Yeah. And I think that's a good way. So I would say if you're trying to get your first deal, just to kind of sum it all up, dog, try and get your first deal, Flip Man, Kong, all against all odds, you know what I'm saying? REI next door, definitely keep rocking with us because we're gonna make it as simple as possible for you, and we'll even make the complex ideas simple. But once you get your first deal, then what? If you're thinking about that, or if you've done a couple deals and you're trying to really wrap your mind around taking it to the next level and the next level and the next level, then get off into the rewatch some of the Max Maxwell videos.
Yeah, some of the older stuff where he showed you how to put the business structure and all that other stuff. Jerry Norton gonna show you how to do next level stuff.
Yeah,
for sure. Sean Terry show you how to do next level stuff. Go get with if you done some deals and you trying to figure out how to do more deals, put the business together. Go see Keith and Lenny. They show you how to put the business together, man. Whatever you got, they're gonna show you how to organize it and show you how to, show you how to make that thing a lot bigger than what it is.
Yeah. Man.
So yeah, man, no doubt. Like I went over there to Keith and Lenny and blew me up like crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like I went from doing 10K months to really 10X and doing 100K months. So go check out my boys Keith and Lenny, and then like I said, another guy, if you want to do your first deal, go to Chris Jefferson, man. He'll take care of you for sure. But shoot, man, we've been on this thing an hour, man. We gave y'all the rundown, man, on these YouTube gurus, man. But and man, if y'all want to know about anybody, I want to do a certain video about somebody, comment below, man. Let us know who you want us to talk about, man. We'll go check them out. We'll go check the course out, and then come back and let you know what it's talking about. So
yeah, man. And if y'all think we was wrong about any of this, if y'all think y'all's opinions differ, let us know, man. Let us know in the comments. Like it, Tell us if you don't like it. Tell me if I need to get my cut on Byron. I probably should have went all even like Byron did or
You
something like that.
stupid,
Just be
man.
honest with me. You know what I mean?
You stupid. But hey, subscribe, like the video, all the other good stuff, man. Appreciate y'all coming through. We're gonna do our shout out. Dig came through, Anita came through.
Ida.
Zay, man, what's going on out there in Portland, man? Always coming through.
Zay.
Cass, what's up, man?
Come on, man. I know
Swint
Cass
came through, man. Tapped in right after he got out of that 9 to 5, man. That's what's
like
up.
I was saying, Swint, man, that's what it is. That's what it's gonna be. So get, you know what I'm saying, you already in the grind.
Already on the grind, man. So, man, appreciate y'all coming through. And man, until tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
peace out.
Tomorrow.